Hello, everyone. This is GGian, and I am joined today by Derek on a very special edition of Game Time. In this show, we talk about NFTs and the game in the blockchain industry. How are you, Derek? How you doing, man?
Hey Gian, I'm doing very well, thanks. It's great to be here. I've been a member of Whale for a long time, as we were talking about, so it's good to get more involved and talk to the community.
No, yeah, man. People are super stoked about the game. They cannot stop talking about it and the sale that we're gonna be giving all the details about how that's gonna be working out very shortly. It is this is a mind blowing release and a mind blowing opportunity to join the action on one of like what is setting up to be a lead in the NFT industry for the mobile, right?
Yeah, that's right. This game will be on mobile.
All right. So to get us started, I would love for you to give us a brief introduction about what's your background in the industry and what's your work at Immutable.
Sure. So I have a bit of an interesting background. So I've personally been a gamer my whole life. I actually have more of a product and strategy background. So I did my own startup coming out of uni, and then I became a management consultant working with like big companies, figuring out how they should release products, their strategies, and so on. And I got into the NFT space in 2017. So when CryptoKitties first
Are
came out.
you early?
Yeah, pretty early. So I found CryptoKitties. That was the first thing, and I thought it was super cool. You could do something with these NFTs and with blockchain, and then so I've kind of been in the space ever since then. And I joined Immutable around 2 years ago with the goal of helping them figure out whether to add new games to the platform, how to do it, what kind of game to add. And so we've been working on kind of got into the past year, mostly building quietly, not letting anyone know. But we're excited to recently announce that we're doing this with our game development partner, Stepico Games, as well. And yeah, we have an NFT sale going live soon, and also releasing the game next year. I think you're muted.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah. No, that's perfect. I would also love to know because we have spoken with the Gods and Chain team quite a few times. I want to know: is this the blockchain side of this game going to be handled by Immutable X? And can you tell the audience a little bit about what does that mean for the user?
Yes. So behind the scenes, the blockchain side is powered by Immutable X. So we're using that as the technology to support NFTs. So what it means is players can earn and trade these NFTs, which are Ethereum, which are on Ethereum. But since we're using Immutable X, they'll be on a layer 2, which just means that players can trade them without paying gas fees, which has, I think, been one of the main limiters to blockchain games more recently, not having as much traction as they should, just because gas fees are so expensive.
No, yeah, definitely. So what people already want to know is around when should we expect the minting of those NFTs in a marketplace for them?
So the plan is we will sell the NFTs kind of on Ethereum so people can buy them, but we will mint them directly into Immutable X at a later date. We don't have an exact date right now. I wish I could provide one, but we don't have it. We've begun working on it. That it is a priority for us. We kind of know how to do it. We just need to get focused on it and get it done now.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait anymore. So I want to jump straight into it. Can you give us the details about the drop that's going to be happening in 24 hours?
Yeah, scary. Exciting.
Scary. A little bit, I imagine.
Yeah, sure. So in general, we're selling founder NFTs. So these are NFTs that you can play with in Guild of Guardians when the game comes out, and they'll never be available again. So you can't buy them again, or you can't make them again through the game. You can only get them from another player. We've split out the NFT sale into a few waves. So in wave 1, we're selling the legendary heroes and the guilds. So you've got it up on the screen. There'll be 7,500 legendary heroes where you get a random legendary summon. And there's a cool kind of summoning opening experience there, and a chance to get some cool cosmetic variations. And then there's these different guilds which allow you to own and run a guild and are also tradable tokens.
Perfect. So one thing that caught my attention immediately is that this has a high emphasis on guilds, right? So touching a little bit of the gameplay aspect, how is can you give us some examples of the degree of cooperation and collaboration that the players should be imagining they will have to do to be able to extract the most out of the game?
Yeah. So as a design philosophy, we are very focused on social gameplay and guilds, as the name of the game would suggest. So this is an area where we're going to keep focusing on building. To start with, we have a few things. We have something called guild crafting. So the idea is that in traditional games, people just play by themselves and they're crafting items. But in this game, you're actually contributing resources to your guild, and together your guild is creating these almost ultra premium NFT items that require people to work together to build, and then which then can get sold and kind of have the proceeds distributed to each member. There are also elements of the game where we want to encourage people to have to work together or potentially specialize. So for example, there's a concept right now where certain heroes and certain factions have access to different drop tables, which is a bit of a unique mechanic. So you may choose to have a full team of horde heroes, and then you get access to these materials, and then someone else is trying to have a full team of glade heroes, and they're trying to get access to these materials. And so you're really working together, and we try to have that throughout the whole game, because we want people to be working together, cooperating, because that's where the game is most fun and enjoyable. And then in the future, we'll have more game modes as well. So we'll have things like guild raids or co-op dungeons or anything else where you're able to kind of work together with other players.
Oh, so basically the classes, the different types of heroes will be able to get different kinds of materials, and then they're going to have to come together to be able to craft more powerful items.
That's one of the ideas, yeah. I think the general concept is we want to make sure people are working together and have the opportunity to strategize and think about areas where they might want to specialize in this massive economy that we're hoping to build.
That's really, really cool. This is one of the waves of sales that you guys are going to be having, right? What I want to know is this the quantity that is available here for every one of these items? Will this be expanded, and will this be present on the other waves? Or if, for example, all the legendary heroes are bought, does it runs out and then there won't be any legendary heroes on the next one?
We're not planning to sell more legendary hero summons, so there'll only be 7,500 of them. You will, however, be able to have a chance of getting legendary heroes through the epic and rare packs, where there's a small chance of getting a rarity higher than the pack. While it's possible to get heroes, we're not selling these summons, so you can't just buy a legendary hero summon again. Then we'll also have. We kind of reserve the right to mint an additional 10% for future giveaways and promotions and partners and so on.
Oh, sure. To grow the game, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about this up to 20% early bird discount?
Yeah, so the idea is that the earlier you buy, the bigger the discount is. So at the beginning, it starts at full 20% discount, and this happens automatically. You don't have to do anything. You just buy it, and the discount is applied. And then over time, as more of these NFTs get purchased, the discount kind of decreases to 0%.
All right, perfect. Does this influences the mint number?
Interesting question. So we've designed in a way that we're not assigning any serial numbers when you purchase. We're assigning the serial numbers when they get minted into Immutable X. So we're actually going to have this almost pseudo-random assignment. So we don't want the first buyer to get serial number 1 because we don't want to incentivize botting or other things like that. So what we're doing is the earlier you buy, the higher chance you have of getting a low serial number, but it's not guaranteed. So you could buy first and still get the last serial number, or you could buy last and still get the first serial number.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically another benefit for being early, but then at the same time, it doesn't incentivize bots, which has been like a huge problem lately, not only in the NFT space, even like GPUs, people use bots to get them nowadays. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing what we can. It is hard to counter bots when you have just a decentralized smart contract, but I think these little things we've tried to design to disincentivize them.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. I would also love to know if you can give us a little bit more details about the gems and how does this come into play in regards to the game economy.
Yeah, sure. So the Guild of Guardians has an in-game currency, which is a tradable token. So we've called them gems in the game. And there's a max supply of these tokens, 20 million. And the goal here is we want to be able to use the token and in-game currency to ultimately grow, make the game as successful as possible. So they will be distributed to players as rewards for playing the game, and they'll be distributed to community members for other actions that they do to grow the game, whether that be like third-party developer grants, or whether that's like advisors, or whether that's just like a giveaway in Discord or other things, which I know happens in the Whale channel, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the way gems will be used in the game is that you need to pay a small amount of gems whenever you want to mint an NFT. So what that does is it partially helps us control the economy, and it also adds kind of demand for these gems, which players are getting for free by playing. And we also have a mechanic where in the future, for future NFT sales, 20% of the cost to buy an NFT has to be paid for in gems. We'll likely obfuscate this so it's a bit easier for the player. But what happens is that those gems get sent to a rewards pool, and then from there they get distributed to the token holders.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we call that active staking, where people have to do something active and then they earn those rewards.
Mm-hmm. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So that basically there will be plenty of different use cases, but in general, being able to mint the NFTs is going to be the main one.
Exactly. And really it's a way for us to be able to provide really immediate and liquid rewards to players. So like if you have a new player, you've played for one day and you've earned this gem. Suddenly you've and especially if you're new to blockchain, it gets you in quite quickly, and you realize, wow, this is the value of kind of blockchain powered games. So it's kind of helps us with that cycle.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. By participating in this draw, do people get any gems?
We are giving away over 1% of all the gems to people who buy in the founder sale. So throughout any of the waves. So
cool.
Yeah,
cool.
So people can get bonus gems just for buying in the founder sale, and so that's our way of distributing this out there to as many people as we can.
Mm-hmm. No, that's perfect. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
So Something else about like the game economy in general. One thing that people are really concerned about when it comes to blockchain and NFT games is like you have this collectible aspect, but how do you manage the game balance over a long period of time when you have the premise that players own this NFT, right, this item or this hero, and may come to be a problem if it's too powerful in the future.
Yeah, do you mean that like heroes or items might be that people can trade are too powerful?
What if my hero is super ultra powerful? Are you
Yeah,
guys gonna ruin my hero? Are gonna make it completely worthless?
right, right. Yeah. Look, this is an area which doesn't have a simple answer. It's quite complex, I think, and that there's a few different potential issues, right? Which we've got solutions for, and we can talk through them. So, in your scenario, you're talking about changing the properties of these different heroes or different NFTs. So I think as a game, we want to make sure that it's as good as possible. And so there's going to be a need for us to balance different numbers in the game. It's very tricky from day one to just know the perfect balance and say, no, we're never going to change anything, because that's just probably impossible. And not good ultimately for the game, because we need a healthy, balanced game for it to grow, which is which benefits everyone. So what we're going to do, we're going to make this clear to people, right? At the beginning, there's going to be some balancing that needs to happen of the different heroes, of the pets, or of the drop rates or whatever. So really, it's kind of, we don't want to encourage like financial advice or anything like that, but like you want to trade or buy with that in mind. And then over time, we'll aim to minimize that as we've got the balance correct. We may also do some initial testing on just testnet and have some rewards in the form of tokens or NFTs for people who test there, so that we can fine tune things like that before it reaches mainnet.
Of course. I think most important aspect of what you touched there, if the game is not balanced, it's not going to grow, right? And if I do have something that is stronger than anyone else, then no one else is allowed to have fun. And although it would suck for me to have it nerfed, of course it has to happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think everyone's interests are kind of aligned in the long term. Everyone wants this to be a fun game, with or without blockchain. Everyone wants it to be very popular, and etc. They want it to grow.
All right, so people want to know, how does the play to earn aspect of this game will work exactly? Is it through trading NFTs? What is it?
So players can play the game for free. So in the game, we have normal game items and heroes that aren't on the blockchain. And so when you play, you start off with a common hero, for example, and you can already just start playing. And so there's a few ways where play to earn eventuates. The first is through heroes emerging. So by playing the game, you get common heroes, and you can get shards to some common heroes. And what we have a mechanic where people can merge a number of heroes to one hero of a higher rarity. So say you get 5 heroes, you can merge that into a rare hero, which then becomes tradable. And then from there, you can merge to a epic hero, and then to a legendary hero. So you can kind of play to earn in that way. The second way is through guild crafting. So you're contributing to a guild, working with other players, getting to know them, etc. And then when the guild crafts something and it gets sold, then every player who contributed to that gets a share of the sale. And so the idea is we want players to be earning through the guild gameplay. So in the future, when we have more guild modes as well, then any NFT drops there will also the rewards of those will go to all the different players. And the third thing we have is the gems, which we talked about. So the tokens, which we plan to give away to players for playing the game.
Perfect. Okay, so there is plenty of ways. That does sound really, really good.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Do you guys have any plans for a desktop version of the game?
Desktop, currently, no. We want to fully focus on one thing. It's going to be quite hard to. We don't want to dilute our focus. We just want to make the mobile game as good as possible. Many people have talked about just using emulator if they want to play on desktop, which most mobile games support, and I imagine will be possible for us as well. But that's not going to be our focus.
All right, so I hope that does work. Because I love playing on PC, man.
Yeah, I think it should work. It's just not going to be something that we're really. We're not designing for a necessarily desktop audience. We're designing this to be a mobile game.
Yeah, but if that works, that's enough, really. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you spend resources if it's already functional?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So one thing that people sometimes get concerned when it comes to NFTs and these early releases is there is a contrast of interest between investors/collectors and players, because investors/collectors sometimes they just want to hoard, right? And players want to have access. So how can you please both at the same time?
Yeah, there's a few things in there. So I would argue that ultimately, we as a developer we're doing similar things almost, and the players and investors want similar things, which is both groups want this game to be as successful as possible, as do we. And so ultimately, I think the interests are aligned in that way. If you're talking about specifically people buying a lot of NFTs and hoarding them and not selling them, naturally that'll drive the price up, and it's hard to counter that. But at the same time, that means that if there's a lot of players who want them, then those will kind of get purchased, and investors are also look to sell as well, if there is demand. So it's a bit of a balance. I think ultimately we're not necessarily trying to please one group over the other. We want to do both at the same time, right? And ultimately that just means making a game with blockchain in it, with NFTs in it, as big as possible, as successful as possible, as accessible as possible to everyone.
All right, perfect. I like her answer, man. No, but it's true. It's there are different things appetite to different people, but if there is a little bit for everyone and people do have that accessibility aspect, and if they are dedicated enough, they manage to, as you said, right, if you fuse those heroes, you're gonna be getting higher and higher Rarity heroes, and that's really, really cool. So I would love to take a minute to watch the trailer. I think it's important for people to have a taste of what's coming.
Love it.
Perfect. There we go. Amazing, man.
We're pretty happy with how it came out. So it's
no, it's beautiful. And we can also take a look at this here. It's a image of gameplay.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about gameplay. Do you guys intend to have PvP of any sort?
So it's an interesting question. I think we currently don't plan to have direct single player PvP. The main reason is because if we have that, it encourages the idea of like pay to win, where someone is buying the strongest heroes or items and they're winning by just beating up players who haven't spent that much money. Even though there's obviously skill and strategy elements involved, but that's how some people will see it. And so what we plan to do is we'll probably have more asymmetrical things, so probably guild-based PvP, which we're currently working on right now, rather than single-player like 1v1 PvP.
Okay, really, really cool. No,
Yeah.
that's good to know. So there will be competition.
Yeah, but we don't want to make it so that kind of it's just based on who spends the most money either.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
People want to know, is co-op going to be a thing?
It is on the roadmap. So yes, it's just a matter of when. It probably won't be available when the game first soft launches, because we've got a few other kind of high priority things, but we do plan to add it, and the team has some experience doing that.
Perfect. So a few other things on the gameplay. Can you talk us a little bit more about the faction, the classes, and what does those things entail?
Sure. So we have these kind of heroes have different properties, which is similar to many other mobile RPGs. And the reason they have all these things is because it adds a lot of depth to the game. So heroes can be in one of 3 factions, one of 3 classes, one of 5 elements, etc. And then depending on these different things, you have access to different things. So you might have a different advantages as well. So for example, as you would expect, like fire will have an advantage over earth will have an advantage over water. So, or potentially, depending on the class, you have access to different items that you can equip. And the reason for this is just to add more strategy to the game. Like people have to think about how they want to build their team, what heroes are taken to different dungeons against different monsters or bosses, and different elements like that. So it adds more depth and strategy.
Okay, perfect. Also about the pets, I saw they have quite different aspects. What about them?
So we have 3 different types of pets, which have 3 different functions. I believe one increases kind of your item drop rate. One allows you to increase your rewards at the end of dungeon, and then one will give you a certain number of like crafting materials each day.
Oh, I like the sound of that. I want a pet bringing money for me.
Yeah, exactly. So we like the idea of pets, and they fit in our universe quite well.
Really, really cool. And there is also the different kind of items, right? And the rarity.
Yeah.
The rarities are the same across all items and heroes, right?
Yeah, we try to make it consistent to not confuse players.
Oh, no, that's really important.
Yeah, exactly.
So, from what you already have been playing, I suppose I can ask you, what's your favorite class/type faction in the game as of right now?
Well, from what we've played so far, I like kind of playing rangers so that they can kind of run around and dodge and shoot, which is quite fun. Like you're just running around.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, hiding the monsters. But I like the idea of like forming a squad where you have just like tanks and bruisers and you're healing, and it's pretty chill, and you're not going to die, and you're just killing the monsters. Yeah.
That's cool, man. So I do want to do a little bit of plugging here, just because the Whale community has been so incredibly excited about the game. I did got on a specific wallet to have a specific refer code. So if you guys want to have participation in the future on our endeavors in Guild of Gardens, if we do go and create guilds, this fund will be reinvested towards the game. If you do use the refer code, you're going to have a 5% discount, and you guys are going to be giving out 5% of that if from the cost of the item, of course, is going to go straight to this fund. And for everyone who is not yet in the Whale community, I will be posting the link on the Twitch chat. Definitely join us. We will be looking to be playing this game as soon as it's available, and you are invited to come play with us.
Yeah, awesome. Would love for anyone in the Whale community to join our Discord as well and get involved. If you have any more questions, I think there's
yeah, definitely. Let me grab that invite link.
Yeah,
because
awesome.
they need, yeah. So as Derek put, you guys also have to join. So let's represent, okay, Whale community. Let me grab that invite link. I'm not sure if you guys have vanity, but here it goes.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot.
So people thought it was today, so now they're going to bed because they can sleep to by tomorrow.
It's in around 24 hours.
Yes, around 24 hours. It's very close, man. I love that your first reaction was like scary. I mean, you have been working through this for quite a while now, right? So it's a big day.
We have, and like we hope it runs smoothly for everyone. You know, we've done preparation and testing, obviously, but you never, something always goes wrong, and so let's just hope it runs smoothly.
Yes. People ask, so is this 5% on top of the 20% for being early?
Yep.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
This one is for me. What's the plan using 5%? We learn from people using the link. As I said, if you guys are not familiar with the Whale community, the Whale community is a community that invests in a bunch of different NFT games and projects and collectibles and art. I think nowadays it's mainly art, right? Because that's popping off. We do things as a collective, and if it comes that people are still interested in the game, this fund will go towards the game. It's going to go back to the game. If not, this is going to go to the vault. That is basically what we call the account that holds the assets that the Whale community own. There is a bunch of information you guys can see on our information channel. If you guys still don't know, don't know the community, I really recommend you check it out. And Derek has been a part of it for quite a while now.
Yeah, I've been here since October, I think. When I was checking weeks ago.
You're super early in the NFT space, man. Do you have CryptoPunks?
I did, but I sold them.
Okay, when?
Probably like a month ago.
That's not too bad. You can't
not too
complain
bad.
about that.
I know they crashed recently.
Yeah, right. Like you did perfectly.
But I like them.
No, I like them as well. I don't know. I should have asked you beforehand if we could talk about your project. I'm just going.
Yeah.
Guys, please, every single questions that you guys have, we will be trying to go over most of them within reason, of course. So definitely put your questions in there. Let me check what we have. Regarding guilds, will there be like a co-founder role which will receive more of a profit cut than normal guild members? Is there a way for a guild leader to set profit per role / position in the guild?
That's a great question. Right now there isn't, but that certainly seems like a quality of life thing we could add in later, where the guild leader could give away some of their cart to other members who help them manage the guild. Otherwise, right now it would be pretty more informal, or maybe other people develop something to automatically do that.
All right, perfect. Since this is a mobile game, do you have mechanics in place for non-crypto natives?
So that is something we are very much interested in. So with NFTs, with any decentralized NFT, there is some limitations to what we can do because, for example, players still need to sign a transaction for us to do anything with the NFTs. But we are looking at the best user experience we can offer in a mobile app.
Of course, perfect. Someone else is the same Derek from CryptoKitties. I think someone knows you, man.
Oh, yes. I was in CryptoKitties for a while. That was how I got into NFTs, actually. We talked about it earlier, kind of late 2017 or so.
What's the core game loop of the game?
The what loop, sorry?
The core game loop of the game.
Oh, the core game loop, yeah. So you have a team of heroes, you send them into dungeons, you earn kind of experience for your heroes, different items and different crafting materials. As you level up your team, you can kind of challenge harder dungeons or do more high-level guild content. And then on the crafting side, these materials, so the rewards you get can be used to summon heroes or can be used to craft items via guild crafting.
Perfect. Have you considered allowing gamers to rent legendaries? I mean, doesn't need to be legendaries, but yeah, to rent.
We have thought about that before. I think that would be particularly interesting for maybe communities like Whale, where Whale buys a bunch of guilds and shares in the profits with other people. Again, we don't have this right now as a plan. It seems like something that potentially someone else could also build on top of us, and we'll support them to do that, which is one of the things we're excited by, kind of supporting third-party projects and developers.
Perfect. Since legendary gear is available through crafting only, what's the highest rarity of gear that can be dropped / rewarded in the dungeon?
Are you talking about the items? Sorry.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So the blockchain items will need to be crafted. So the drops will but there are common items which can just be dropped, so that players can play the game and still progress as well. So I think that answers the question. Does it?
I think so.
Okay.
Man, we're seeing some nice questions here. Also, that's important. Payment. Oh,
sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry, man. I do that sometimes as well. Payment methods. That's really, really important.
So right now we only accept ETH on mainnet, and in the future we'll look to add in more methods, but we don't have that right now. So no, unfortunately, no credit card, unfortunately.
Okay, sure. I mean, too bad I'm not going to be able to pass $100,000 on my credit card.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we use duplicate heroes in the same squad?
Yes. Because some people may have duplicate heroes and you may equip them with different items. They could be different levels. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there won't be a feels bad moment for getting the same over and over.
Yeah, that's the current plan. Yeah.
Someone asked, the sale will be on mainnet, right? Not Matic or anything else.
Correct, on mainnet. So it'll be through a smart contract, and we've set it up so you can add in almost like a shopping basket of NFTs and just buy it once and pay one gas fee.
Someone wants to know if there will be like an energy system for each hero, and like, does it regenerate often? Is that a stats or something?
So the energy system, basically how it works is kind of each account has energy that you get over time, and you need to spend that energy to go to do dungeon runs, so to send your heroes to the dungeons. And if you have a hero that you've used too much, then the energy cost of using that hero will go up, or the hero will get fatigued, which means that their stats go down. And this is where one of the things we're selling later is energy boosters, and so that's where energy boosters come into hand, where they help you kind of play with your heroes more by not having that fatigue and not having it cost extra energy if you use the hero too much.
All right, perfect. I love the questions, man. So we can think of a lot of stuff.
Detailed, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me check. What do we have? Are there other benefits beyond what's listed here for the guilds of different tiers?
There aren't any other benefits. So it's not like if you join a Legends guild, then you will progress faster, or get more experience or anything like that. So the main difference comes from the gameplay. So you're playing with more people, you together have more crafting materials, potentially making the rarest items first, etc.
Okay, perfect. I mean, that plays on the fairness aspect, right?
Yes, and we want the game to be here for a long time. So we want it to be sustainable, and that's kind of where a lot of our decisions are made.
Mm-hmm. Let me check any other questions. It's a little bit difficult to multitask through Discord and in here.
Yeah.
Let me check. Oh, will there be open world?
So currently no. So the dungeons are instanced. So each dungeon is its own place. So you can't travel from one to another in open world.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, someone missed and wants you to explain pets again. Do you mind?
Yeah, sure. So there's something called pets in the game. So these are tradable NFTs, and what you can do is you can kind of almost like equip a pet and send it into battle. And what it'll do is there's a few different effects you can get. It'll either give you more rewards at the end of a dungeon run, or it might give you resources every day for logging in, or it might increase your chances of getting items. And so it just gives you kind of a small boost, and they're tradable, and they don't stack either. So we get that question sometimes, because you can't just buy 100 pets and get like a lot of multiply the benefits.
Oh no, my plans.
So one per. The idea is kind of one per account, and you use the one that you want.
Yes, perfect. Someone wants to know: is the legendary tier the highest tier that will ever be available in the game?
I can't say 100% right now, but it is. That's the plan. We have, even within legendary heroes, for example, we have different cosmetic variations. So where almost like League of Legends chromas, where you have heroes with different cosmetics. So for legendaries, we have like a warrior skin, an elite skin, and a mythic skin. And the mythic skin is a 1 of 1 only. So theoretically, that would be the rarest if you get a legendary mythic hero.
Oh wow! And you cannot craft that. You cannot. Can you upgrade that? Like,
so it'll be. It's kind of you have a random chance of getting it when you buy any hero summon.
Oh my god, my money!
Yeah, personally, I'm really hoping that someone buys a rare pack, and they end up getting a legendary hero, and that legendary hero ends up being a mythic. I think that would be really cool. But who knows?
Wow!
Who knows,
yes.
Right?
Yes. Wow. Yeah. People, I guess this question does make sense. I thought it was too much related to gameplay, but I guess people are trying to orient their plans in regards to purchases. Would you run into problems using one legendary hero with 3 common heroes?
I don't think so. I guess this is similar to a lot of other mobile team RPGs. Like people will build their own squads. People like to tailor them, so you might have a particular playstyle and you want specific heroes that fit that playstyle. So maybe there is a playstyle where you have you use like a few common heroes, or you use just a team of rares. So it's really up to you. I don't think there's any like strict set of heroes that's going to be the best. And even if there's like strong heroes, since we've got all these different elements and factions and such, like there's always almost like a counter to that, or maybe they're weak to certain dungeons or weak to certain bosses. So it's pretty dynamic.
Really, really cool. So you will not, like, as much as you want to have the interim, like put your 4 bands there, sometimes you might find out that you need to swap one to fit a specific purpose, even if it's lower tier.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, really, really cool. Interesting. People want to know if 4 rare are better than 1 legendary and 3 common. Those are very specific.
It's hard to answer that. Sorry.
No, imagine. Okay, so also you guys have had a collaboration with the Sandbox. Can we talk about that?
That's right. Yeah, so we're working with the Sandbox team. We like the idea generally of just collaborating with kind of other leading projects in the space. So we're doing this thing where if you happen to summon one of 3 Guild of Guardians heroes in the Founder Sale, then you basically go into a draw effectively of getting the same hero in Sandbox. And there's actually less Sandbox heroes than the number that we're selling, because they have a more exclusive rarity system where they only allowed like 100 legendaries or something for in Sandbox. So those will be quite cool, and you'll be able to play with them in Sandbox and in the game.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Which one is which? The legendary, epic, and the rare?
The legendary is the middle one. The epic one is on the left, and then the rare one's on the right.
I love the look on this one, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, excited to do this, and I think hopefully we can expand the idea of the metaverse in the future as well, where we're just working with other projects and games, or we even have people building mini games which use Guild of Guardian heroes, and we support them.
This is really, really cool. This is really, really cool. Definitely would be lovely to go out hanging with what you got here. Beautiful.
Awesome, thanks.
Do you intend to scale your team with the proceedings from the founder sale? Oh, is that out of bounds?
In short, yeah, like the funds go back to making the game as good as possible. Could be through scaling the team, could be through like when the game goes live, getting more players on board as well. So, or it could be through rewards. And a big part of our philosophy is we want to incentivize the community and players, because we believe that helps us ultimately grow the game overall. So I imagine some of that will go there as well.
Perfect. There are 7,500 founder legendaries for sale, but by buying a rare summon, you can still get a legendary. So is there a max amount of founder legendaries that we can access?
There will. So the way it works, theoretically the way it works is no, because it's a random chance, and even though we can estimate how many legendaries we expect there to be, that could still change, because maybe you hit more legendaries or you hit less legendaries. But either way, we don't have any public numbers right now for how many rares or epics that we plan to sell. But I guess you can kind of speculate based on how many legendaries we're selling.
But this number will evolve over time, right? Depends on how much people are crafting.
Oh, I see. So once the founder sale is over, you won't be able to get, the number will then be locked. So you won't be able to get any more founder NFTs, and so you still will be able to merge heroes and such, but those will be separate. So the way we've designed it is there's kind of a set of heroes that we're selling, and you can't get those again, and then there's a set of heroes which you actually can't buy.
Oh,
which is game. So those aren't being released right now. Those are kind of being saved for when the game comes out and players start owning them through merging. And at the beginning, those will be even more exclusive and rare because none exist at all. Which we think will be.
No, cool. Yeah, no, that's definitely very good that we clarified that.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So to your point, like that's one of the ways we try to balance the people who buy and support us in the founder sale to players who play in the game. We've made this decision to try to meet both needs and create an economy as well.
All right. So what people want to know now is if there are different sections. So does crafting up the tier also works for the founder heroes?
So there's merging, which we talked about before, where you combine a number of heroes of one tier into a random hero of a higher tier. But there's no, that's it. So you can't craft a legendary hero other than you can only merge from epic to legendary, for example.
You can't merge founders to get higher tier founders.
Oh, right. So you can, when merging comes out, you can merge founder NFTs to still not to founders, but to the new set of like heroes.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. But that would reduce the supply of this.
Exactly. Yeah. So if people could choose to, I don't know if you will comment on this, but you could choose to buy a bunch of rares, save them, and then merge to like epics when the new set of heroes comes out. But by doing that, you reduce the supply of rares for everyone else.
Okay, so are the heroes, the founder heroes, going to be skins, or do they have unique skills compared to non-founders?
Each hero is a unique like guardian or character, so it will have its playstyle, abilities, stats, etc. And so it's a bit like Overwatch characters or League of Legends characters is the best way I would describe it to understand what they are. And then so those guardians or those heroes will also have some like chroma variations as well. Again, it's the same person, same abilities, but just a slightly different cosmetic variation.
So there will be cosmetic variations, including skins in the future.
Yeah, we're open to skins, and we have some ideas in the works.
Why do you tease me, man?
I can't say anything. So people will kill me. Yeah.
People will kill me. All right, guys, we have a few more minutes. Do you have your questions? Now is the opportunity to get them going. Ask now, or maybe ask later. I don't know. You guys are also very active on Discord, right?
Yeah, like if you guys have questions, we have an AMA channel in our Discord, and we try to respond to everyone there as well.
Any plans for leaderboards, PvE competitions, etc.?
Yes, in short.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
We think that'll be cool, and just another way to distribute rewards and incentivize people to play.
How many different heroes are here in the Legendary Hero sale?
There's 8 different Legendary heroes, and each of them have a few cosmetic variations, like chromas.
And do they have the same rarity overall?
You mean, are they all Legendary?
No, but in the sense that they have the same amount of supply each.
Oh, right. Theoretically, yes, because the probabilities are the same. But when it's random, so who knows how it'll come out?
Yeah, I mean the distribution could be skewed, right?
Yeah, exactly. It probably will be a little bit, but overall, you could expect it to be very similar.
When can we see some gameplay, and what's the projected release date?
So we're aiming to release early next year. We'll obviously share more gameplay as we have available, and we'll try to kind of invite people to test and give feedback when it's available as well. Don't have a date on it right now.
We
But
will
that
be
will be part of our kind of planning.
perfect. We will be able to open and see which heroes we got like tomorrow, right?
Yes. So you don't have to wait for them to be revealed. You'll see straight away. You won't get the NFT tomorrow, because we still need to do some work to make sure we can mint those on Immutable X, so people don't have to pay gas fees to trade them. But you'll be able to see them tomorrow.
Perfect. Will you guys have a marketplace or the NFTs ready before the game is launched?
Yes. So once they're minted, they'll be tradable on a marketplace. So likely at the very least on Immutable X marketplace.
The guilds are also tradable items, right?
Correct. Everything we're selling in the founder sale is tradable, is permanent. So it's not a one-time use thing.
If I sell the guild, does the players go with them?
We're working out the mechanics of that, the exact user flow of that, because there's many different scenarios that can happen. So I don't have an answer for that right now.
How limited will be the guild tokens in the future? Do you plan to restrict supply on those somehow, or to sell as many as needed as the population scales?
So we are absolutely aiming to grow the game more than the number of players you can fit in these guilds that we're selling. So in the future, we likely will need to add more guilds, because we want to make sure everyone can experience the game and is playing with friends and other people that they're meeting. We won't. So what we've done so far is we've kind of reserved the right to sell inventory guilds. I don't know if we'll actually exercise that. We may just have a different guild in the future, and this is one of the areas where we'll likely get community input on, because again, it's one of the things which it affects anyone who purchased the guild right now. But I think when the time comes, it'll be a positive thing to need to sell.
Of course, as long as you guys are responsible and don't go overboard.
Yeah. So in practice, it'll really only happen once there's a need.
Of course. Can unopened packs be traded?
Unfortunately, no. We looked into it. It was a bit too tricky for us to implement, and it cost a bit too much gas for people to buy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely don't do that then. We don't need more.
We love that idea though. So it's kind of one of the things on our wish list, but it's not available.
Someone asked, the Founder Energy Boost have been told is the best energy boost that will ever be released. Is that true?
Will the energy booster be the best energy booster? Again, can't say for sure. We don't plan to release any other energy boosters right now. I imagine as the game goes on, there's going to be ways to we'll eventually introduce new content, new ways to earn. We may not even be us selling it. It may be people have to do a lot of things in the game to earn this token. So I don't want to rule it out, but we don't have any plans right now to sell energy tokens for a long time. Any more energy tokens?
All right, perfect. Might want to separate founder guilds when doing something like adding more. It's a suggestion rather than a question, I guess.
Okay, I missed it. What was it? Sorry.
So someone said you might want to separate founder guilds when doing something like adding more guilds.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think that's one of the things we're looking at, which is why we may not add any more. We may just have a separate guild, all flagged that these are the founder ones.
Yeah, but I know people will always have more and more questions. But this is a long-term project. They're here to stay, and I'm sure as we have future developments, we will have new opportunities to talk about them. And I want to be mindful of your time. So this is going to be it for today. Derek, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything that we forgot to cover and you want to add? Please go ahead.
I mean, the only thing I want to say is thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate all the questions and taking time to watch this. Love the support. Again, if you're new to Guild of Guardians, just encourage you to join our Discord channel and get involved with the community. We'd love to have you there.
You guys really represented the community. Is on Twitch and is very, very active, very, very clearly, and I love to see this action. I think we're gonna see a very, very successful sale tomorrow, and as I'm gonna say again, you guys are all invited to participate on the Whale community. Feel free to talk as much as you want about the game. People here are really, really interested in trying to find strategies and trying to find ways to participate and to get together and to be ready for when the game launches. So I will be dropping the link there, so definitely participate. And as I said, if you guys are so inclined, of course you don't have to, but if you want, there is a referral code there for a 5% discount and a 5% that's going towards a fund that will be reinvested in the game in the future if the Whale community is still interested on it. But I'm pretty sure they will be because everyone's going to be investing.
Yeah, make sure to buy with that URL as well. So it happens automatically via smart contract. So just go to that, use that URL to as the URL they use to buy.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Perfect. So thank you very much, Derek. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you here. The community, the Whale community really appreciated, and I'm sure your community also did. So thank you for taking the time to be here with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot. This was fun. It's good to chat.
Yeah, of course. I mean, quarantine and stuff, it's just, it's hard to be home sometimes, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's nice to meet new people. Thank you guys, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. Eat some good food. Oh, it's night for me. It's not night for you.
The day's just begun.
Cool. Everyone, eat some nice food, get some rest, and bye-bye. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks. See ya.